How does language affect the brain? Let's take a look at the different parts of the brain and how they affect sign and spoken language. Broca's area is located in the left frontal lobe of the brain. This was discovered by French surgeon Paul Broca in 1861 when working with patients that had lesions resulting in an inability to speak. From the study of these lesions, he understood that this area of the brain is responsible for the generation of language. The patient born came to Broca being only able to say 10. The lesion on his brain led to what is known as expressive aphasia or Broca's aphasia, characterized by partial loss of the ability to produce language, either spoken, manual, or written, even though comprehension remains intact. Larynx area is the region of the brain that is important for language development. It is located in the temporal lobe of the left side of the brain and is responsible for the comprehension of speech. A lesion in this area would result in larynx aphasia, affecting the ability to comprehend and produce both spoken and written communication. The primary auditory cortex processes auditory information as part of the sensory system for hearing, identifying pitch and loudness of sound. There is significant overlap between the brain and the areas used between sign language and spoken language. It can be concluded that these areas of the brain don't distinguish between language and communication coming to the ears or to the eyes. The main difference is that deaf people use parts of the brain that process visual motion. The cat sat on the bed. Mnemonics simplify learning process since there is a clear association between the word and what is experienced. Here in the image, you can see the difference between the brain of a deaf signer and the hearing speaker. The difference is not much more than the activation in the left hemisphere. For around 90% of people, language is represented in the left hemisphere. The language demonstrates how the same areas of the brain used to produce and understand spoken language are activated when using sign language. The auditory cortex changes its role. It becomes involved in working memory, helping us with cognitive tasks like problem solving and decision making, showing that regions of the brain can change from the usual role of processing sounds to a new role of storing and updating information.